Chapter 36. Easy battle? Lin Hai looked embarrassed. Lin Feng had already shown more strength than expected. He felt gratified, but Lin Badao's proposal was insane. Even if Lin Feng managed to defeat Lin Hong, what would happen during the final? Lin Badao wanted to see Lin Feng die by the hands of one of his children. What's going on? The head of my clan cannot show some courage and resolution. Allow our juniors to show what they are capable of in a real battle. Lin Badao said when he saw that Lin Hai was hesitant and not replying. Father, hurry up and accept, said Lin Feng. Lin Feng couldn't help but shiver a little bit. Lin Feng's family had never done wrong to Lin Badao's family and had never considered them as enemies. They even considered them as close relatives, but Lin Badao's family was constantly trying to manipulate Lin Hai and would constantly make attempts on Lin Feng's life. Since they wanted to do things in such a way, Lin Feng's would have to return the favor. Lin Hai looked at Lin Badao's expression. He looked extremely confident. Lin Hai just said one word, alright. Lin Hai definitely deserves to be the head of the clan. He's brave. Since the clan head has agreed, let's get started. Sixth Elder, allow Lin Qian and Lin Hen to fight first, please. Lin Badao looked high-spirited and vigorous. He was feeling very satisfied. Since Lin Hai had accepted, everyone just had to wait and see. Okay, said the Sixth Elder while nodding. You should give up. You cannot defeat me, said Lin Qian while getting on the fighting stage. She was dusting off her red robes which remained untouched. She looked insufferably arrogant. Even if I cannot defeat you, we still have to fight to determine the results. Lin Hen said, preparing to start fighting. He released his fire spirit and the atmosphere became unbelievably hot. Heat roared from the stage and the whole crowd could feel warmth on their faces. Your spirit has also awakened, not bad. What a pity though that it's only a fire spirit. It isn't worth much. You still won't have a chance when fighting against me, said Lin Qian in a cold and detached tone. On the path of cultivation, one of the major steps was to reach the Ling Qi layer and then to have one spirit awaken. Some people's spirit became much stronger when it awoke, and whereas some spirits did not vary much from others and were just average strength. After being awakened, Lin Qian's universal ice and fire spirit had become infinitely stronger. Her control over the elements of ice and fire had reached new heights. Her universal ice and fire spirit appeared behind her back. The clear ice was covered in flames. The raging flames were covering the ice and the fire seemed to be emitting frost at the same time. The atmosphere was sometimes extremely hot, sometimes extremely cold. It was an extremely strange feeling for the crowd who continued to feel the altering temperatures. I had heard that Lin Qian's universal ice and fire spirit was about to awaken. It wasn't only a rumor. It really is an awakened spirit. She really is the genius of the Lin clan. Lin Feng, that piece of trash, is not even worthy of her attention. Exactly. No wonder so many of the elders support her. Besides, the universal ice and fire spirit is a high-class spirit. She can practice fire as well as ice techniques, which can also greatly improve her agility techniques, by combining knowledge of fire and ice-based techniques and using them simultaneously. She will definitely become a powerful practitioner. When Lin Badao heard these clan members whisper about his daughter, he couldn't help but have a huge smile on his face. All the elders next to him were also smiling. Everlasting snow, Lin Qian had said in an apathetic tone. The ground turned into ice. A white fog was rising in all directions and formed clouds which emanated an icy aura. Ice has a restraining effect on fire, therefore Lin Qian had used an ice skill to counter Lin Hen. Scorching magma, shouted Lin Hen. He opened his hand and there was a blazing hot fireball in his palm. Ice spike, said Lin Qian, contented and not scared at all. Ice collapsed into Lin Hen's hand and in an instant, his hand was enclosed within a layer of ice. Ignite, said Lin Hen while coughing because of the ice within the air which hurt his lungs. The ice turned into vapor which froze the air, making it hard to breathe. Lin Hen's hand was extreme painful. He couldn't tell exactly where the pain was, but he had the feeling his head was going to explode. Boom, a sudden explosion and Lin Hen was sent flying backwards. The center of his palm was burned black. The flesh and blood of his hand was in terrible shape. Lin Hen, said the Sixth Elder with worry. I'm alright, said Lin Hen while biting his lip. He was shivering and his jaw could not stop moving. One could hear the sound of his clacking teeth. He was enduring a strong and violent pain. The pain in his hand was agonizing as the ice was trying to freeze the wound, causing even greater pain. We will have a rematch in the future, said Lin Hen while staring at Lin Qian. He then turned around and left. It made his father sigh. Even though Lin Hen wasn't really naturally talented, he was extremely determined and stubborn. He wanted to become a man of overwhelming power. Even if he did not have talent, he would work harder than anyone else to become strong. You will never be able to defeat me, give up on trying, said Lin Qian, arrogant as always. She was going to be so strong in the future that nobody in the Lin clan would be able to compete with her. If no one could touch her now, how would they in the future when she grew stronger with her spirit? Universal fire and ice spirit. She is able to use two elements of antagonistic power in the blink of an eye. Her potential will continue to increase. Lin Hai was frowning. The stronger Lin Qian was, the more dangerous it became for Lin Feng. It's your turn, said Lin Qian while smiling coldly at Lin Feng, and then came down off the battle stage. Lin Feng raised his head and looked at the clear and boundless sky and the sun. Lin Feng was walking slowly towards the battle stage and then stepped onto it. Lin Hong was already waiting for him there. I've been waiting for this opportunity for a long time, said Lin Hong while looking at Lin Feng. I know, said Lin Feng while nodding. You never had a single hope for victory. You are going to fight me now, but even if you had fought against Lin Qian, it would have been the same, there was never any chance for you to come out of the unscathed. Lin Feng just laughed. Lin Hong had so much self-confidence that surrounded him like an aura. Lin Feng, in his eyes, had no value. What are you laughing at? Asked Lin Hong. Do you think that because you won against Lin Wu, you can compete with me? If you believe we are the same, then you are still too immature and overestimate your abilities. You are listening to Peerless Martial God audio on light novel Aloud. Just go ahead and say that you are unmatched beneath the heavens. Say that I will never see such an amazing talent such as yourself in the next 10,000 years, said Lin Feng in a teasing tone. Lin Feng hadn't even fought against Lin Wu and had managed to make him crawl on the ground like a worm. Lin Hong, who hadn't broken through to the Ling Qi layer yet and thought he could be that self-confident. Obviously, Lin Hong was furious at those words. Alright, I understand. I will just have to kill you, Lin Hong said with an evil look. Behind him appeared an ice and snow spirit and a freezing cold qi surrounded his body. Ling Qi layer. Lin Hong had also broken through to the Ling Qi layer. He was also hiding it. Shouted members of the audience, no wonder that their father plays a dominant role in the Lin clan. His son and daughter are both geniuses which are only seen every 1,000 years. They have both broken through to the Ling Qi layer. This is incredible for our clan's future prospects. I think the clan definitely needs to change its head of clan now. Many people were getting very agitated thinking that Lin Ba Dao should become the head of the clan. They thought it would mean the rise of the clan into new heights of fame and glory. They thought the clan would become the strongest in Yangzhou City under the control of Lin Ba Dao. For this year's annual meeting, I will end up on the battle stage with my sister. You are just a pitiful appetizer before the real fight. You will be crippled with a single strike, your father will step down as clan head, he will need the spare time to care for his crippled son, said Lin Hong, revealing his true vile nature. An ice-cold qi had invaded the entire atmosphere. The Shuiying mountain village only accepted cultivators who possessed an ice and snow spirit. Ice and snow skills, agility techniques, abilities were all extremely powerful. Lin Hong was studying all of these skills at the Shuiying mountain village. His body was diffusing in extremely cold air and it was clear that he wasn't the least bit weak. He was as strong or maybe even stronger than Lin Qian. Very quickly, Lin Feng's body was covered with a white layer of frost and snow. They hadn't even properly started the battle, but Lin Feng was already affected by his opponent. Roaring thunder. Lin Feng took the initiative to strike the first blow. Thunderous roars filled the atmosphere which stupefied everyone. When they saw the sword which was emitted radiant rays of light, they could tell that Lin Feng was also hiding exceptional power. Nonetheless, everyone still only had eyes for Lin Qian, Lin Hen and Lin Hong because they had all broken through to the Ling Qi layer. Lin Feng's sword thrust towards Lin Hong. Lin Hong wasn't taking it seriously. He just sluggishly raised his palm and an ice-cold qi emerged. Lin Feng's long sword was covered with frost and snow as it was deflected. Roaring thunder. Lin Feng's movements were quick and agile. His sword, while shaking from the vibrations of the attack, also shook off the frost and snow that was covering it and once again thrust towards Lin Hong. Lin Hong was smiling coldly. Lin Hong's palm shot towards Lin Feng's sword. An extremely strong ice qi arose which made the point of Lin Feng's sword vibrate. A strong energy was starting to fill the atmosphere. The Ling Qi layer. Cultivators who have reached it are strong. Strong qi, agile, physical strength. They're really much stronger than cultivators of the qi layer. Lin Feng sensed an extremely strong power going through his sword. He felt gloomy in his heart, but his face never changed from his relaxed smile. 9 heavy waves. Lin Feng pulled his sword back and instantly strong shock waves ran down his arm and shot out from his hand, aimed directly at Lin Hong's chest. Lin Hong frowned. He would have never thought that Lin Feng was able to use 2 different skills using both his hands at the same time. That was an extremely difficult thing to achieve, but the way Lin Feng did it was completely flawless. Piss off, shouted Lin Hong. Even though he had broken through to the Ling Qi layer, he wasn't dominating the battle at all, against all of his expectations. Ice and snow started whirling together in the air as if they were dancing. The waves suddenly came to a halt and could not move forward. Lin Feng did not stop and repeatedly thrust his sword towards Lin Hong. Lin Feng's sword was whistling through the air and thunderous roars were still increasing within the atmosphere. Lin Feng was standing on his feet as firmly as a mountain without taking a step backwards. His sword looked like a ferocious dragon which called forth a violent thunderstorm. Wow, said Lin Hai in a low voice. This is Lin Feng's true power. Movement, skills, techniques were all far above expectations, quick, agile, skillful. Lin Hong was forced to move back with an ugly expression on his face. Even though he had only made a step back, he was a cultivator of the Ling Qi layer and he was wildly arrogant and presumptuous. He even said that Lin Feng wouldn't be able to withstand a single blow. Yet each sword attack seemed quicker than the last, and Lin Feng had forced him to step back. Obviously, his face was not as bright as when he believed he could defeat Lin Feng in a single strike. He was being humiliated by someone who has not reached Ling Qi layer. He could no longer contain his fury at the humiliation he had suffered. End of chapter 36. Hope you guys enjoy the chapter. Please consider subscribing and hit that bell button for future updates.